Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. Okay, we've got a really fun one lined up. Today, we are taking a fascinating look at the action-packed animated cartoon series Kaneez Amna. Now, if you've seen the show, you already know it's just full of vibrant characters, schoolyard dramas, and all those classic everyday childhood adventures. But here's the thing. Beneath the surface of all that fun, the source material is actually packed with some incredibly profound ethical and religious lessons. So my goal today is to extract those core teachings and break them down for you. We're going to see exactly how simple, relatable stories can be super powerful vehicles for teaching some really complex moral concepts. Let's dive in.
To keep things organized and make sense of all these chaotic adventures, we've broken the core messages down into 5 clear pillars. We're going to look at worship, trust and truthfulness, the importance of good character, choosing goodness over revenge, and finally, maintaining good habits for always.
All right, pillar number 1, worship, specifically fasting and prayer. We kick things off by watching Amna tackle a huge milestone, her very first fast.
Now, the show does a brilliant job redefining fasting for its young audience because, it's not just about skipping meals. The defining moment of the episode comes when Amna is completely alone. She's incredibly thirsty, and she is so tempted to take just a tiny secret sip of juice, but she doesn't. She realizes that even if her family doesn't see her, Allah is watching. The source material uses this totally relatable moment to explain that roza, or fasting, is fundamentally an internal test of sabr, which is patience, and shukr, gratitude. It's really all about self-discipline when absolutely no one else is looking.
And to comfort her, her mom drops his truly beautiful promise. She says, there is a gate in Jannah called Ar-Rayyan, through which those who fast will enter. I love this because it transforms a really difficult physical task into a deeply meaningful spiritual goal. It introduces the concept of heavenly rewards in a way that is just so comforting and inspiring.
Of course, learning isn't a straight line, right? At first, Amna gets completely distracted by blasting TV cartoons and ends up missing her prayers. Later on, she even tries to skip them altogether because it's Eid, arguing that she just wants to have fun. But the series continuously course corrects. It shows her that prayer simply cannot be skipped, not even for entertainment. The ultimate lesson she learns from her older sister is a total game changer. Namaz or prayer is the absolute biggest duty. It connects us to the divine, and it brings blessings that way outlast any temporary distraction.
Moving right along to pillar 2, trust and truthfulness. This is all about those everyday moral dilemmas we all face.
So picture this. Amna's friend Sara entrusts her with a very special, highly prized toy. The show uses this setup to define amanat, or trust, and it really dives into the heavy responsibility Amna feels. What the source material does so well here is connect a very simple universal childhood scenario, borrowing a toy, to a major prophetic tradition. The characters talk about how keeping someone's property safe is a practice of Prophet Muhammad, who was actually renowned as Al-Amin, the trustworthy. It literally elevates a basic playground rule into a sacred duty.
Later, Amna's honesty is really put to the test. She completely wastes her savings on cheap toys, panics, and lies out of fear. And man, does that bring a dark cloud of anxiety over her. It's palpable. But when she finally breaks down, confesses, and brings the truth to light, she learns that honesty always yields a better result. Surprisingly, her parents actually forgive her and buy her the stationery box she wanted anyway. It reinforces the idea that honesty brings relief and reward, while deceit only brings stress.
All right, pillar 3, the importance of good character or akhlaq for absolutely everyone.
The word akhlaq is the central focus here. The show expands the idea of good behavior way beyond just listen to your parents. It applies to everyone we interact with. It challenges the characters and, by extension, us as viewers to broaden our circle of empathy and respect. And that's regardless of the age, social status, or even the species of the being they encounter.
Let's break down how this show actually illustrates this with some specific examples. First up, Amna is initially pretty dismissive of a visiting aunt she doesn't know, but she quickly learns she must show deep respect to elders, even total strangers, simply because it's the right thing to do. Second, she learns to step up and assist vulnerable animals, like a hungry street cat, realizing that animals absolutely deserve our akhlaq too. And third, treating guests with immense hospitality. She learns to view them not as an inconvenience, but as a literal source of blessings entering her home.
There's this one powerful quote from the source material that just hits the nail on the head. Goodness is good character, whether dealing with someone small or big, human or animal. It firmly reinforces that these aren't just polite societal suggestions. No, they are direct instructions grounded in faith. It teaches that pure goodness is practically applied through your daily, everyday interactions with the world around you.
Which brings us to Pillar 4, goodness over revenge. Let's talk about dealing with bullies.
Amna's first reaction to the school bully is raw, intense, and honestly, pretty understandable. She literally wants to take a hammer to his bicycle to get even. It's a furious emotion, but her mother intervenes. She replaces all that anger with a mended heart, giving her the crucial advice that forgiveness is always, always stronger than revenge. And the show brilliantly illustrates how that advice plays out in real time. Let's walk through this timeline, it's great. Day 1, Baloo is just awful. He breaks her cycle and extorts kids for their lunches. Day 2, Amna is furious, plotting her harsh hammer revenge. But then, Day 3 rolls around. She really digests her mother's lesson. So, instead of a hammer, she brings Baloo a homemade sandwich made specifically for him. And by Day 4, the bully is completely disarmed by this unexpected kindness, and they actually make peace. The show demonstrates that actively returning bad behavior with goodness isn't just nice, it's a practical, highly effective strategy to resolve conflict. Finally, we hit Pillar 5, good habits for always. The core theme here is consistency in faith.
The series drops a pretty heavy, critical question on the viewer, just as the characters have to face it when the holy month of Ramadan ends. Are good habits only for Ramadan? It's a profound question about consistency. Is spiritual discipline just tied to a date on the calendar, or is it meant to fundamentally change who you are?
The show highlights the immediate backsliding that often happens right after the holidays. Kids fighting selfishly over toys, or vendors hiking up ice cream prices just for a quick holiday buck. But the characters quickly realize that the honesty and good manners they trained so hard for must become a continuous cycle. It has to be practiced all year round. They confront the reality that true discipline isn't just an on and off switch.
So how do they actually fix this and apply these lifelong habits? The source material shows them tackling something literally every kid dreads, a massive pile of summer homework. Step 1, instead of working selfishly, they pool their resources into a study group. Step 2, they share their snacks and lunches. And Step 3, they realize that this cooperation and sharing brings barakat, this beautiful concept of divine blessing or abundance. By applying the good habits of sharing and patience to their schoolwork, they actually increase their overall productivity and happiness.
Okay, let's wrap this up and recap the core teachings we've distilled today. Fasting is a true test of internal patience, and prayer is an absolute anchor that shouldn't be skipped. We have to guard the trust placed in us just like the Prophet did. Good character isn't just for family. It extends to strangers and even street animals. We can practically defeat hostility and bullying with unexpected acts of kindness. And maybe most importantly, spiritual training isn't temporary. You must work to maintain those good habits all year round.
So, I want to leave you with a thought. The characters applied their ethical lessons to their daunting summer homework to find success and harmony. What is your summer homework of life right now? What is that big challenge sitting in front of you, and how are you going to actively apply these principles, patience, honesty, kindness, and consistency, to tackle it today? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. Keep learning, keep analyzing, and I'll catch you next time.